Today we're creating this natural glam for beginners. So I'm gonna go into detail on how to create this glamorous makeup look that I feel like is perfect for either a night out because it's super glowy, super stunning, or if you're looking for something during the day that can last long on your skin. So without further ado, go ahead and grab your makeup and let's get into it. So I always like to start with a well moisturized and hydrated base. So I've been loving this Innisfree green tea seed hyaluronic acid serum. This is a very lightweight serum. I like to use this to slap some hydration on my face, especially right now when my skin is dry and dehydrated. It needs that extra hydration, so this has been a go-to serum for me. I also do like to use this serum as my primer because hyaluronic acid can also work as a primer. It has a very lightweight but a little bit of a tacky finish, so it really helps to get your makeup to last on your skin. And then we're gonna go in with a light coverage foundation product, and I've been loving this one by Ciele Cosmetics. This is the Tint and Protect Tinted Serum. So this is a foundation product that you can apply to even out your skin tone. It does give a very much light coverage finish, but one thing I love about this product is you can build it up to a medium coverage if you need more coverage on your skin. But it is a lightweight, natural, everyday type of product that you can use to even out your skin tone. The shade that I use is Medium Rich 10, and as you can see, this is like a perfect shade match. It does help to even out my skin tone. I do like to apply it with my fingers because it helps to warm up the product so that the product looks really natural on the skin. And like I mentioned, you can build this up to a medium coverage, so I'm just adding a little bit more for the extra coverage. And I always like to take a damp beauty sponge and press that on my skin. This is gonna help absorb all the excess product. It's also gonna help get rid of a little bit of the shine that comes from the product because it is a very hydrating and glowy product. And this is what the foundation looks like. As you guys can see, it's really glowy, really hydrating, but I love the fact that it's not oily. It doesn't feel greasy on the skin, and it makes my skin feel really comfortable. All right, next I'm gonna go in with contour first. I've been loving applying contour before applying concealer. It's been easier and it just allows the blending process to be a little bit shorter. Going in with the Fenty Beauty cream bronzers. This is in the shade Chocolate 06. It's the perfect shade to help sculpt my face, but I love that it's very natural on my skin. It's not too intense. And using this contour, I'm gonna place it right on my cheekbone area. I also like to sculpt my jawline right here. It does help to slim your face down a little bit, and I do like to place a little bit on my nose bridge. This is gonna be for my nose contour. And then using a beauty sponge, I like to blend this out. Now with cream products and natural makeup looks, I like using beauty sponges because they help to absorb all the excess product so that you get more of a natural finish instead of like a full coverage finish. And as you can see, that gives me a very natural contour that you can't really spot because the shade is very light. It's not too dark. It's about 2 shades darker than my skin. Then for concealer, I'm going in with the Quickie concealer by Urban Decay. This concealer is a very lightweight concealer. I like to use that to apply it under my eyes because it's hydrating, so it doesn't leave my under eyes dry. And hydrating lightweight concealers tend to crease less under the eyes. And as I let the concealer sit, I'm gonna go in with cream blush. I do like to add a little bit more blush than I would on my regular routine because it does add a lot more color to your skin, and I feel like the blush kind of balances the naturalness of the makeup look. So I am blending this with my finger because I feel like it gives it more precision. And honestly, with cream blush, you can apply it all over your cheekbones. I feel like once you blend out your concealer, it helps simmer down the pigment. So I'm gonna go in with the beauty sponge to blend out the concealer, and letting the concealer sit for a little bit helps to give it more coverage. One thing you notice about my 10-minute makeup looks is the balance. So because I used a lightweight foundation, I do like to mix it with a full coverage concealer. I feel like giving this balance helps to create a natural makeup look that looks skin-like, but at the same time, it still gives you enough coverage to cover up discoloration under your eyes. I always feel like I need more coverage under my eyes more than I need it on the perimeter of my face, so that's why I always go with a natural skin-like foundation and go in with a full coverage concealer. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and get rid of the shine, and my favorite powder is this NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop pressed powder. This has been a go-to powder. I've hit pan like twice. I think this is my third one, and I'm almost hitting pan on this. It's such a good pressed powder to help absorb all the excess oils on your skin, especially if you're using a skin tint. I always like to set it because skin tints tend to be very slippery, so you want to make sure to use a pressed powder to press it onto your skin so that it doesn't move. So I always focus this around my mouth area, just around this area, because we are going to apply setting powder under the eyes. I'm also going to place some on my forehead area to set that foundation. And then to set the concealer, I'm going to go in with this NARS pressed powder in the shade Bay. But before we do that, I always like to go in with my concealer sponge to blend out the creases. And then using a clean powder puff, I like to take a little bit of that powder and press that right underneath my eyes. Now, this powder can be highly pigmented, so you do want to build it up. Instead of swirling it like this, I like to just press it onto the powder and then press it right underneath my eyes. This is gonna help you pick up a little bit of the powder so you don't get too much pigment, because once you place it on, you can't take it out. And as you can see, this powder helps to brighten up your under eye area, which, because we went in with the full coverage concealer, it's always good because it helps to keep the color. And I love brightening up my under eyes because we're going for more of a bright under eye. We used a full coverage concealer, so I still want that coverage under my eyes. I also like to get the most out of my blush, so I like to layer my blushes just so that it lasts longer. So I'm gonna go in with the Juvia's Place powdered blush, and I'm gonna use this pink shade right here, and I'm gonna place that on top of that liquid blush to set it. I love doing this because it makes the blush last longer, but it also gives more of that inner blush look. These two products are what I always use to do my eyebrows because they make the process super easy, so this is what I use. Now for eyeshadow, I'm always a neutral eyeshadow girl. Like, I don't know why I always gravitate towards neutrals and natural eyeshadows, and recently I've been obsessed with the Clio Cosmetics Pro Eye Palettes. These eyeshadow palettes are super gorgeous because they have so many nice neutral eyeshadow shades. These are the swatches for some of the shimmer shades. As you can see, they are stunning. So I like to use these palettes to create an everyday eye makeup look because they're so easy to work with. I have here the shade Lazy Soft Pall, which is more of a mauvey pink eyeshadow palette, and you guys know I love my pinks. And then I also have here the shade Napping Cheese. This is more of a neutral brown eyeshadow palette. This is also really nice to use to create more brown neutral eyeshadow looks. So first I'm going in with the palette Napping Cheese, and I'm gonna start off with this brown shade right here. Now this is more of a transition shade, and I'm focusing the shade right on my crease, and this is just gonna help contour my eyelids. I do like to use a big fluffy brush to apply my first transition color, especially if the shade is not too dark and it's more of a brown shade. And then using my finger, I'm gonna pick up this shimmer shade right here. This is such a gorgeous champagne shade, and I'm placing that at the center of my eyes. And I like to do this just to add a little bit of sparkle on my eyes. And as you can see, these apply so well with your fingers. So I'm just using my ring finger and stamping it at the center of my eyelids. And then I always like to go back in with the same shade that I used for the transition shade, just to kind of blend it all together. And I'm gonna use some of that brown shade and smudge that right at the bottom. This part is definitely optional, but I do like to apply eyeshadow at the bottom of my eyes because it creates dimension and it helps to tie in your eye makeup look. And as you can see, the eyeshadows are really easy to work with. They're so natural on the eyes. I do feel like these palettes are so beginner friendly, so definitely give this a try, especially on Black Friday. And I want to give a huge thank you to Clio Cosmetics for partnering with us in today's video. So I'm gonna go in with the Essence Lash Princess Mascara, and with mascara I do like to wiggle it from the root all the way to the top. I realize you get better length and volume when you do that, especially if you have really short eyelashes. Now you can pop on some lashes if you wish. I do think lashes kind of bring that extra glam. So I use the Lilly lashes in the style Persuasive, and they just just look perfect with smaller eyelids or hooded eyes. Now, because the skin is giving a lot of glow because of this tinted serum, I'm gonna go ahead and apply highlighter only on the highest points of my cheekbones. So I'm using the RMS Live and Glow Face and Body Powder. This shimmer is so beautiful. This is what you need because it's not shimmery, it doesn't look like a powder, but it definitely gives your skin more of a natural glow. Now, typically when I apply highlighter, I like to place it on my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, but as you can see, my forehead has kind of that natural glow from the skin tint, so I wouldn't be needing highlighter on that area, just around my cheekbones. Now, of course, we're gonna line our lips with a brown lip liner. I'm using the Morphe lip liner in the shade Toasty, and then for lips, I've been loving lip oils, so we're using the Rare Beauty lip oil in the shade Wonder. And then to hold this makeup in place, I highly recommend getting a good finishing mist, so I'm gonna use this one by Revolution. This is the Super Hold Misting Spray. This is going to get all this makeup to stay put on your skin, especially with a natural glam where you're going to be in an environment where you might sweat a lot or your makeup might move around. I would highly recommend getting a spray. This is one of my favorite long hold finishing sprays. And here we have it for this natural glam that's perfect for beginners. But another important thing to learn for beginners is makeup hacks that make your makeup process so much easier. And that's why you have to watch this video right here, because in this video I go over 5 makeup hacks that might change your life. Once again, thank you to Clio Cosmetics for partnering with us in today's video. Definitely check these palettes out. I will link them in the description box down below. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next video.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'.